In the last couple of posts, I was talking about how a limitation at the ankle could cause you a problem in your low back. In this post, continuing the theme, I want to look at how a limitation at the hip, in particular in hip extension, could equally cause problems for the lumbar spine. To try and demonstrate what I mean by the hip extension, I've put some craft tape on my hip, that the join corresponds more or less to where the motion occurs. So if I just drive my front knee over toe, a little bit like as if I was walking and this was my back leg, you'd want to see that angle between the two bits of tape change, and I think you can see that it does in my hip. But in many people, many of my patients I assess, I don't see that angle change. So when they do this motion, they might cheat the motion by bringing their chest forward, or they might achieve the motion, but that angle doesn't change, but their lumbar spine will really extend in order to get there. And when that happens, you can see how that could really irritate and compress the joints of the lumbar spine, and that's what we want to avoid. There's many stretches you can do for this, but my go-to stretch for this would be to stay in this position, perhaps have someone hold onto the wall, and just drive that front knee over toe, and then I might just get them to reach back overhead. Now that's all well and good if I've got my hands on and I'm focusing the motion to the hip, but if I haven't, then the very thing I'm trying to mitigate, i.e. extension of the lumbar spine, might just happen anyway. So we need to find ways around that. So if you've got a symptomatic low back, you might just avoid this until you've seen a therapist who's got their hands on and helped you. Another way around it might be just to reach up and over to the wall, and that gaps the lumbar facet in a different plane, and then you might find that you can actually get that stretch pain-free. Another way of doing it would be to rotate as well, and that also will gap the lumbar facet on the right side and mean that it's not getting compressed in all three planes. So it might be being driven together in one plane, but it's not in the other two, and therefore the stretch becomes achievable.